What is up, my friends? It's a brand new week and you are very welcome along to Monday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Liverpool do look like they're getting back to business as the stories are coming out thick and fast around this summer's transfer window. Over the course of the next 10 or so minutes, we're going to discuss Christopher Nkunku, Jean-Philippe Mateta, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Ibrahima Konate, Hugo Ekitike, and lots more. We do want to know your thoughts, of course, ladies and gents, so feel free to let us know in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, please do drop a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The good news, we will be back tonight, 8:45 for the usual. If you want the news before anybody else, then make sure you join the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp community. Simply scan that QR code there on the screen, and we will do our best to give you the latest updates around Liverpool Football Club, with, of course, a view to this summer's window. So we know the Reds had their first pre-season game yesterday. It was great to see the lads back out there on the pitch, and of course it was a very emotional afternoon as well, as the players and the fans said goodbye to Diogo Jota. But it does kickstart what is, well, real football season again. And the first story I'm going to bring you guys today is one that I'm going to make a statement now. If we sign this player, it's probably 50-50 if I retire from making content. I'm not going to lie, because I'd lose my mind. L'Equipe have said that Liverpool are monitoring the situation of Christopher Nkunku. No thank you. Please, no thank you. Nkunku, 2 or 3 years ago, before he went to Chelsea, may be worth taking a punt on. But not only do you have the fact that he's flopped in the Premier League with Chelsea, also, you know, if Paris Saint-Germain ever flooded their eyelashes at him, he's already told the world that that's the club of his heart and where he'd want to be. So they talk about a £35 million sale here, and I'm going to say no thank you from me. Do feel free to disagree if you wish in the comments, but no, not for me. A lot of people are probably going, please sign him now so I can get rid of this idiot. Please sign him. Let's wait and see. Right, Real Madrid. Let's talk about Ibrahima Konate, because this here from, well, anything Liverpool posted, it said Real Madrid's plan is to sign Ibrahima Konate as a free agent in 2026. Ibu wants to join, and he's very happy with Madrid's plan. Now, that is the first of a load of stories about Konate that's come out over the past 24 hours. More on them in a moment. But Lucas Beraldo, Paris Saint-Germain centre-back who had a bit of a mare in the Club World Cup final, well, he's handed in a transfer request, according to L'Equipe. Paris Saint-Germain have agreed to part ways with the Brazilian centre-back if certain conditions are met. Liverpool were previously interested, and our friends at Anything Liverpool have posed the question, is this a deal that you think Liverpool should revisit? Now, I'm going to be honest with you and say I don't know that much about Lucas Beraldo. Haven't really watched them, probably a handful of times. So I'm not going to be the one to tell you whether he's good enough or not. But of course, this is a community, so we want to know what you guys think. Lucas Beraldo, let me know in the comments. Would you take him at Liverpool? Yes or no? And should I be starting to dig a little bit deeper and have a look into quite how good this young man is? Right. Bayern Munich, well, they may turn their attention to Arsenal's Leandro Trossard if they are unable to secure a deal for Liverpool's Luis Diaz, according to Bild. That is quite a fallback there. You know, we talked about players that they've been in for. Florian Wirtz, Nico Williams, Rafa Leao was mentioned, Luis Diaz, and now Leandro Trossard. If you're a Bayern Munich fan, this must be heavy going this summer, because it's been a little bit embarrassing in the transfer window for our friends over in Munich. Right. Let's talk Hugo Ekitike, because Newcastle and Manchester United remain the most active clubs in talks for Hugo Ekitike. Chelsea are continuing to monitor the situation, said transfer sector. Liverpool taking a backseat following the player, but not making him a priority. Now, I do have more on Hugo Ekitike in a moment, mainly from the Newcastle side though. Now, here's one for you. I don't believe this link personally, but it has been written and spoken about extensively, so I want to know what you guys think. This report here said that Jean-Philippe Mateta and his representatives met with Liverpool in Paris in the last few days. If you're looking for the Twitter account of the claim that made this, it's at SEBNONDA, Sebnonda, at Sebnonda, and Anything Talk posted a credit them for that post. Right, Jean-Philippe Mateta is 28 years of age. For me, no thank you. Respectfully, no thank you, because I can see that he has something about him, obviously. But is this really the superstar centre-forward that we were waiting for? I don't think so. And at 28 years of age, it'd be very unusual business for Liverpool to spend big money, Premier League rival, 28 years of age. I can't see it personally, but maybe I'm wrong. So this is where I'm asking you guys again to let me know what you're thinking. Right, so let's talk Fabrizio Romano and back to Hugo Ekitike. This report here said Newcastle are working on a deal to sign Hugo Ekitike. He is a top target for them and they're already pushing, said Fabrizio Romano. Now, does this mean that they may soften their stance on Isak? Well, the public line from Newcastle is that they want a show of ambition here and they want both of them at the club. I still don't quite believe it, if I'm being honest with you, but what do you guys think? Would this signal that maybe there is a chance for us with Isak, or are Newcastle finally just spending some of the owner's wealth because they have a little bit more of PSR wiggle room? Again, I don't really know, but I find it very difficult to believe you could have both of those at Newcastle and keep them both happy, as well as bringing in Anthony Elanga, the centre-back that they need, and I'm sure one or two more positions that Eddie Howe has his eye on. Let's talk Darwin. I did tell our Discord group and many other people that I think Napoli are bluffing of trying to walk away and go and sign the Udinese striker because, as I've said, just go and do it then. But they're not. They're coming back to the table. And this here from Corriere dello Sport say, a new meeting for Darwin Núñez and his potential move to Napoli is expected to take place today. Liverpool are standing firm on their £52 million or €60 million valuation. The Anfield side will need to loosen up more in negotiations, otherwise the deal will collapse. We've been hearing this quite a bit from Napoli, haven't we? We'll walk away. I promise you we'll walk away. You're just about 2 minutes away from the hold me back type of nonsense. Look, it's €5 million. Are both sides going to let this deal fall apart for €5 million? Can't say, but Liverpool do know that Al Hilal and other clubs are willing to pay the money for Darwin Núñez. So if Napoli really do dream of Darwin and this is the player that they want, they're going to have to put the money down on the table. And I know yesterday a lot of people were getting their hopes up about maybe Darwin staying. I can only be honest, and it doesn't matter to me if people like what I say or not, as long as I know I'm being honest. And Darwin is for sale. Darwin will leave the club. I can't say that often enough. No matter what people might want, it doesn't change the fact of the situation. So for me, get the most money we can and then make sure that we go into the market and start bringing in replacements. Right, back to Canada now. I promise you this was a busy day. I wasn't messing. So Spanish outlet Defensa Central have said that Liverpool are aware of Real Madrid's interest in Ibrahim Canade. And this is the interesting part. And I want to know, would you take this swap deal? Because I definitely would. So they're saying that we're willing to offer €35 million or £30 million and Canade in exchange for Rodrigo. Would you take that offer? I would, because that, in my opinion, would value both players pretty much right. So I'd say yes to that one personally. Obviously, we do need to bring in two centre-backs then because we've lost Joel Kwanzaa. They say the 24-year-old winger faces an uncertain future at the Santiago Bernabeu, having struggled to force himself into Xabi Alonso's plans. Right, Bayern back for Luis Diaz. This is what we're hearing now from Bild. Bayern Munich have submitted a €52 million or £45 million bid for Luis Diaz, but it's still quite a way short of Liverpool's valuation of about £70 million or €82 million. So they're going to have to come back with more money. Now, let's talk Ben Doak. See, I did it right there. I said his name correctly. The reason I started saying Doak is because I genuinely heard a few commentators saying Doak, and I wondered, had I always gotten it wrong? But our Scottish friends in the chat have let me know it is Ben Doak, so let's move on. Nottingham Forest are reportedly interested in signing Liverpool forward Ben Doak to replace the recently departed Anthony Elanga. I think this might be a good move. Obviously, we know Forest have some form of European football next season, whether it's the Conference League or the Europa League, which it looks like at the moment, pending Crystal Palace's appeal. And Ben Doak is good enough to play in the Premier League for me. I just always believed that Liverpool wasn't going to be his destination where he really gets minutes because, well, that's kind of what we were briefed on. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think he would move there? And what type of money do you think would be fair for Ben Doak? Now we're back to Ibrahim Canade, and I'm flying through these stories as quickly as I can, so do join us tonight because we have a lot to talk about. Liverpool have made it clear to Real Madrid that they will not accept anything less than £45 million for Canade, according to Spanish outlet AS. So will they pay up the money? Well, let's wait and see. If Real Madrid were really willing to offer the 42 million quid that was doing the rounds yesterday, 42, 45... you know, we're not a million miles away here from getting to a deal, are we? So that's where we're at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. So we've gone through quite a bit there. Obviously, Hugo Ekitike, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Ibrahim Canade, Ben Doak. Loads to go through. Jean-Philippe Mateta, Christopher Nkunku. I know I'm asking you for a lot of feedback here in the comments, but do let me know your thoughts. And again, I hope to see you tonight, 8:45, for the late night agenda, where, as I mentioned, we have quite a bit to go through. We'll talk soon. Much love. Bye-bye.